Today, we're diving into a really personal and poetic work, Silhouettes in the Garden by Lula Starling. It's this incredible journey of uncovering the self, told through beautiful verse and just unflinching honesty. So let's jump in right where the author does. Right from the very beginning, in the preface, the author just lays it all out. This isn't just some collection of poems she decided to write. This was an act of survival. This one single line, wow, it tells you everything you need to know about the stakes here, about the story she's about to tell. So to really get to the heart of this book, we have to start there, with that need. We have to explore the why behind its creation. Starling talks about feeling, in her own words, deeply buried under expectations, roles, and a routine that felt like mud. So for her, writing wasn't just, a hobby or a creative outlet. It was a tool. It was a way to gently dig out the person who was buried under all of that. And it was a quiet, personal rebellion against that feeling of being totally invisible. And that brings us to the central idea, the main metaphor of the book, the silhouette. I mean, think about it, right? A silhouette is you, but it's not the whole picture, is it? It perfectly captures that feeling of being present but not really seen, of having a clear outline while all the details inside you are just left in the shadows. This whole book is basically an invitation to step out of that shadow and into the light. So, what is this journey all about then? Well, the book dives into some really core themes. It's like the emotional map the author follows to find herself. This work grapples with some massive, totally universal ideas. It's about that search for your own identity, especially within the context of womanhood. It stares right into the face of generational trauma, and it explores that messy, difficult, nonlinear path toward healing and finally reclaiming yourself. And this just brilliantly illustrates that whole theme of generational burdens. This piece from the poem Old Lady Eyes asks this just devastating question about the weight that gets passed down to kids, a path made of bricks that they never asked for. It just perfectly captures that feeling of being born with a history you're forced to carry. And here, from a poem called No Allies, you get this gut punch of trauma laid completely bare. It speaks to that profound moment of realization that the safety nets we're all supposed to have, like family, can actually break. And that's a key understanding in the book. The road to healing has to start with facing these incredibly painful truths. So how on earth does the author guide us through such heavy stuff? Well, the book is actually structured very carefully. It's a 4-part journey that takes you from the very beginning all the way to a place of peace. It all starts with roots and early observations, which is about family and your early identity. Then it moves into shadows and silhouettes. That's the weight of everything that was hidden. Reclamation, that's the turning point, the moment of choosing to take your power back. And then finally, merge it, which is this phase of integration and finding peace. This quote from that final section, merge it, really shows us the destination. After all the digging and the rebellion, what comes next is this sense of calm. It's not about some big, flashy victory, but about these simple, profound moments of just being present and accepting yourself. A quiet day, a sunbeam bright. Now we have to talk about the writing itself, because the style is every bit as important as the story. It creates this echo that just stays with you long after you've put the book down. Starling's voice, you could boil it down to 3 key things. It's lyrical, it has this beautiful, almost musical rhythm. It's deeply honest, sharing these vulnerable truths without holding anything back. And it is absolutely unflinching. It never ever shies away from what's difficult or painful. So when you mix that lyrical style with that kind of raw substance, it has this incredibly powerful emotional effect. It really makes you pause and ask yourself, what does this kind of honesty make me feel? It makes you feel the weight of grief. It makes you feel the resilience of strength. And ultimately, it leaves you with this powerful sense of renewal. That whole journey through the shadows makes the light at the end feel so earned and so real. And this brings us to what I think is the most important part. Because while this is one person's story, the message is for everybody. It's an invitation for you to find your own silhouette. At the end of the day, the book maps out a journey that so many of us can relate to. That journey from trauma to healing, from being silenced to finally finding your voice. It's this testament to the freedom that comes from uncovering who you were always meant to be. In the preface, Starling says it so plainly. This book is for every single reader who has ever felt unseen, unheard, or just trapped. It's like a hand reaching out from the page, offering you permission to start your own gentle excavation. And that leaves us with this final, really powerful question. After seeing this journey from roots to reclamation, from being hidden to being whole, the book kind of turns the question back to you. What part of yourself, hidden in the shadows for so long, will you reclaim? That journey is waiting for you in Silhouettes in the Garden by Lula Starling. It's a truly profound and beautifully written exploration of self-discovery, and it's available everywhere books are sold. Thanks so much for joining me.